Africa. Grace to you, children of the living God. Those are some photos that I took, a lot of them, in Port Harcourt, Nigeria recently with Cfan, which is Christ for All Nations. Many years ago, the third highlight of my life, actually, after my wedding and my daughter's birth, was going to Africa with Reinhard Bonnke in the early 2000s. And I was totally blessed to go with him twice, again as a photographer. And I mean, it was just amazing to see hundreds of thousands of people come to Christ, and just to see all those souls won in such a powerful way. I mean, it's such a dynamic ministry. It's just amazing. And if you never saw those videos of all those people, just crowds and crowds of people hungry for God, it's something you should check out, really. So let's start with a couple scripture verses. So this is Joel 3:14. When I went to Africa many times with Ken Green, he used to quote this verse all the time. And it is, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. We're going to go next to 2 Corinthians 5:21, and it reads, for he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. And last verse, but not least, Ephesians 2:8-9. And they read, for by grace ye are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. So again, if you want to do missionary outreach, you got to be equipped. You kind of have to be trained. It's not easy depending on where you want to go. Now in Africa, just so you know, it's not an easy feat. You've got to take bucket baths sometimes. You got to sleep in mosquito nets. Sometimes you need big time security, because if you're preaching the gospel, you're going to get attacked. So, this is not for the faint of heart. This is for somebody who just can't stop. You just got to see souls come into the kingdom. And no matter what it takes, whatever sacrifices you got to make, you have a hunger for souls, because pretty much that's what it takes. So now if you're that kind of an individual and you like a little bit more adventure, and you're willing to step out on a limb to really take some risks, prayerfully, mind you, and you feel you're called, you got to be called, or else there's no sense in you going. You got to be called. But if you feel you're called to do that, I want to recommend something to you. So Cfan headquarters is in Orlando. And of course, it's cfan.org to look up their website. And what they're doing now, of course, there's a young man, Daniel Kalinda, is amazing. And he took over for Reinhard Bonnke, and he's doing a training. And it's called Boot Camp, Evangelism Boot Camp. So you can go to Orlando, study for, I believe it's a week, intensive study all day for a week, and they're going to train you up so that you can do that kind of ministry, probably on a much smaller scale, but nonetheless, if you feel called to do it, that's the place to go. They only accept 50 students at a time, so it's a really intensive training. And I know it's totally led of God. There's no doubt about it. Everything Cfan does is totally led of God. There's no question about it. So you could apply and go to Orlando. And then another cool thing about that is when you're done, they encourage you to go on to wherever they're going, usually Africa, on a crusade with them. And they put you to work. Off you go. You're an evangelist. So chances are what you'd be doing is preaching the gospel and getting people to learn about the big crusade later on in the week, kind of thing. And depending on the city, again, hundreds of thousands of people, so it could be. And you'll be a part of that. But the spirit of it and the effort of it and the training of it would certainly equip you to go to the foreign mission field, again, if you feel called to that mission. So check out cfan.org. And if that's what you think you're called to do, go for it. God bless you.